Welcome to Backstage Pass with David Nash, where the curtain lifts on the real entertainment industry. From the studio to the stage, we sit down with world-class producers, artists, engineers, and music business professionals shaping the sound and strategy of today. This is an insider's look at how careers are built, hits are made, and the industry really works. Let's go backstage. Now, here's Dave.
Hey guys, Dave Nash. Welcome to another episode of Backstage Pass with Dave Nash, an insider's look into the entertainment industry. We look at all of it, the whole industry, from front house, back of the house, you name it, we got it. And today we have with us James Wright. How you doing, James?
Doing good today.
James, let's ask you some questions, man. You look like a musician, first and foremost. I guess that's important.
I get that a lot.
Do you get that a lot? You know, I'll walk up to random people that I see out in public and I'll say, hey, man, are you a musician? No. I said, well, man, you sure do look like one. You should probably start. Do that.
What gave me away?
The hair.
Okay.
First and foremost, It's always there. My hair was like down to here in the 80s, but it's all gone at my age. So where are you from?
Berea, Kentucky.
Berea, Kentucky. Is that a big town for people that have no idea where Berea is?
No, not a big town.
It's
a small college town with some hills around. You know, some might call them mountains, but
Kentucky. In Kentucky, they're mountains, but they call them hills. So Berea, for people that don't know Berea, is kind of a really artsy town, right?
Yeah,
So it's like crafty, artsy musicians, artists. The college there is heavily invested into the arts and things like that. So it's a really cool place to live for a musician. So you're born and raised in Berea?
Mostly moved to Berea when I was entering about first grade.
Okay. Where are your parents from someplace else originally?
Yeah, well, I was born in Memphis. And
there you go.
They were there for a long time.
You should have been a blues player, maybe.
I know, right?
Do you play blues?
A little bit here and there, you know.
Just so you guys know, James is a musician, so we're going to be talking to a musician today, but he's more than just a musician. From Berea, Kentucky, by way of Memphis, Tennessee. The Memphis, Tennessee things. How old are you?
21.
Oh, my Lord. He's 21 years old. Jeez.
Yeah.
What a great time. So being a musician, what do you play? Are you a multi-instrumentalist? I know you are a bass player extraordinaire.
Absolutely.
So do you say I'm a bass player, or do you say what?
Well, bass is my first love. But, you know, I play guitar. I do a lot of my songwriting on guitar.
Okay.
And I play some of the drums, but I don't get around to it as much as I'd like these days.
Well, they're calling you. I'm a drummer, so we would love to have you join the drum corps at any point in time. Yeah. And I've heard you play bass, and you're an extraordinary bass player. I've actually, one of the bands that he was with in the past, I've booked a bunch. So, yeah, he's a very versatile bass player. You are also a student, or were a student at the Lexington School for Recording Arts, Recording and Performing Arts.
Currently a student at LSRA. About a year or so in, got at least a year left.
We're actually at the LSRA studios, the Long Island Recording Studios in Lexington, Kentucky, which is a beautiful facility. If anybody has not seen it, I encourage you to check it out. Yeah. So is that a 2-year program that you're involved in?
About 2 years, sometimes 2.5, I think. Not too sure.
And when you come out of that, it's like audio engineering? Is that covers everything?
Yeah, a lot of things from, the audio and visual. You know, there's like Photoshop courses and film courses and lighting, audio mixing,
performance,
performance. And then I'm also in the artist development program.
Which
is a separate thing.
It is.
So I'm here. I'm around a lot.
Yeah, a few of our guests you guys are going to see have actually been through our artist development program. I think we had Ryan Brashear on a few weeks ago, and Ryan's the guy that came through the audio engineering school, the entire school, and was also in our artist development program, and now he's crushing it everywhere.
Oh yeah,
he's a killer cat.
I like to think that when you go through both the artist development and the audio engineering. That sound guys will hate you less when you're on stage because you'll know what's going on.
They're still going to hate you, no matter what you do, especially if they've been on tour. So let me ask you this: so as an artist yourself, and I've heard the style that you play, and it's really kind of mind-boggling to me. What's your influence musically as a bassist or as a solo performer? Because I've seen you play acoustic solo shows. I actually booked in one that we did not too long ago. So what's your influence musically?
Well, first and foremost is Tame Impala. That's the music that made me fall in love with music. And
tell people who don't know that that genre? That
Oh, it's I guess some would call it neo psychedelic. You know, some of his earlier records are psychedelic rock focused, and later records are more pop.
right,
You know, drier, more punchy drums and a lot of synthesizers.
right,
And groovy bass lines.
groovy bass lines. It's important.
And he's always kind of been my role model. Kevin Parker, the guy who does Tame Impala, he produces all his stuff. He writes all the parts for everything, and so it feels like his music feels like an honest look into his brain.
Right, that's cool.
And
I've heard you do like even showy stuff, show tune kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, did I hear you do some Sinatra?
It's at some point.
Probably. What'd you do? You did, man. You did something that I was like, what is he doing? That's really, really cool, man. Because you did that show in Lexington a couple months ago, and I was like, man, that was really the first time that I got to see you perform as a solo artist. I'd seen you with the other group you were working with prior, and I was like, man, that it really impressed me.
Thank you.
To be that young, and you're a bass baritone, is that correct, or what's your voice?
Yeah,
right
about there, bass
right in there.
baritone.
But it's just to see a young guy that handles the kind of music I saw you doing, I was like, really, that's why you're here. Because I was really impressed.
Yeah.
And not to mention that we are at the Lyrico Studios, and you are a student of the engineering program as well as one of our artist development students. So let me ask you, as far as the engineering school goes here, the performing arts school that we have at Long Island Recording Studios in Lexington, what do you think is the biggest takeaway from what you're going through as far as that education goes? That's a big one, because you're doing a lot. I mean, from lighting to stage to everything.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing I'm taking away that Will Freebody kind of preaches a lot is work ethic, I'd say.
Yeah.
That's definitely, I think, the most important thing. You get out of it what you put in. If you show up on time, you're late, kind of thing.
Yep, that's a fact. I was just had a conversation with an artist who's she's doing phenomenal. I just got off the phone before I came into the show today with her dad.
Yeah.
And it was like I was asking him, well, what's going on with Taylor? Taylor Hughes, she's going to be here, by the way. She's coming up on one of our shows. But he said it's her work ethic that separates her. And it really is. I mean, as an artist, it's so important. It really is. Because not only are you working for yourself, but if you have a team around you, people are depending on you as the artist to do everything other than just the stage and rehearsal. There's a lot that goes into it. So work ethic is immensely important for an artist or performer, even a tech guy.
Yeah.
So on the engineering end, do you have plans to pursue any of that part of your education, or are you specifically going after the performance end at the end of the day? Or are you going to, obviously you're going to couple both of it together? Let me get a drink of water real. Go ahead.
Well, my main dream is to be a performing and recording artist.
Right.
But of course I have gone through the audio engineering program as a backup as well. So, God forbid that doesn't work out. Then I can always,
you got a backup plan.
Yeah, I can always get a sound guy. I can always work in a studio. I can find, gig work. But also, it gives me a good knowledge base for doing a lot of home recordings, a lot of self-producing in the future, which takes a long time to be good at.
It does, but it's very doable. Yeah. Very doable.
Will always reminds me about how the Beatles. They took a long time to kind of start producing themselves. And,
sure.
Because it's different from being an artist or a musician. It's a whole other skill that you have to learn.
It is indeed, and they did a good job at it. You can't have a conversation with Will. Will Freebidy's the president of Lyrico, by the way, but I think we've probably mentioned that. But you cannot have a conversation with Will where at some point in time the Beatles don't come into that conversation, and that's not a bad thing. I mean,
like the Mount Rushmore,
Yeah, the Mount Rushmore of artistry is the Beatles. Yeah. There's all those guys, whoever they are up on the mountain. Then there's Ringo, John. They need to expand them out now. Let me ask you this, family-wise. Is your family musical?
Yeah.
Are they?
Somewhat.
Like, do they listen to radio, or what do they do?
Well, actually, my mom was a music major. She played flute, and
she's a flautist.
Yes, a flautist.
I love saying that. Flautist.
Not a flutist.
A flautist. Right.
went to Rhodes College in Memphis and, for a music major, and you know, my dad's definitely a fan of music.
Yeah, I've met your dad. He's a fan of music. For sure.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
When did you
dad.
pick it up? Like, at what age did you say, "Hey, I think I'm going to start dabbling with the guitar or bass or whatever"?
Well, you know, I was in a middle school band at Brea Community High School, and
Playing what?
I actually played alto saxophone.
Okay. Well, you didn't mention he plays horns too, so there you go.
Oh yeah, I haven't played in a long time, but I still have it. I still have the alto
Hang on
sax.
to
So
it.
one of these days, I'll
Sexy instrument.
break it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, I didn't really have a passion for music or much of anything really, until
That hit me. I didn't have a passion for anything.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So what happened?
until ninth grade, where it had something to do with a girl, you know, and a lot of feelings around that, and discovering a lot of music through her,
Right.
and discovering Tame Impala,
There you
and
go.
falling in love with that music, and then ever since then, it's just been like this.
So
this
what-
fire I can't put out.
Yeah,
I got to
man.
do music.
You
know?
got to do it. I've been doing it for 50 plus years. So what was the first instrument you picked up and said, other than the sax?
Right. It's bass guitar.
What
You know,
kind of bass you play?
What kind of bass?
Yeah.
Well,
Or
it's,
basses?
I play a 4-string. It's a ESP LTD D4. It really rolls off the tongue.
That sounds like it's really good, is it? I'm a drummer.
It's good. It's extremely good for the money. I got it. It's the only bass I've well, one of the only basses I've bought. And it's just the one I've used.
Right.
You know.
What are you playing through?
Well, most of the time I'm just going DI and
Are you?
something. You know,
Right.
I'll be making demos in GarageBand and
Right.
going
There
DI.
you go. Good
They
on
have
GarageBand.
great amp sims. And
Is
GarageBand.
there, if you're using an amp, are you like an Ampeg guy, or have you gotten to that point where, like, hey, I love these amps or those amps or whatever?
Well, shoot, if I had the money to, I'd play through a SVT cab.
There you go.
810
Yeah.
or like a V4B, I think it's called. It's like a smaller tube head.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's above my pay grade.
It's above, well, you're only 21, man. What is your pay grade, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you're in the process. You're going
You
to
know, I played through a small Ampeg combo for a long time with Something Sandy,
Right.
the band.
It's a good band, by the way. Something Sandy. We
Oh,
just
yeah.
gave those
Shout
guys-
out Something
we
Sandy.
Shout out to Something Sandy. If you're out there, take a listen to those guys. Maybe we'll have them on the show. Really cool band. They play some kind of eclectic stuff. And
Oh yeah.
it's funny because when I booked them, I'm like, "You guys do country?" "Oh yeah, we do country." I'm like, then I listen to their stuff. I'm like, "That's not country," but they
Yeah.
did country.
Yeah.
And because I sent them to a show that required some country,
Mm-hmm.
but really cool band. So shout out to Something Sandy. Take a listen to those guys. Maybe we'll have them on the show.
Oh, yeah.
At some point in time. So what are your plans? How much time you got left in the school?
About a year and a half.
What are your plans and just for the future? I mean, what do you think your path is?
Well, that's a big question.
That's why I asked it.
Well, I know in the near future, right now I'm focused on kind of getting my stage legs.
Right.
That's why I'm doing a lot of solo
Sure.
acoustic stuff. Learning a lot of covers and mixing a lot of covers in with original music.
Are you working on stage here at the studios with a lot of stage performance as far as that goes?
Well, what do you mean?
Getting on stage and being comfortable.
Sure.
Are you doing
Yeah.
that all the time?
It's kind of hard to get that experience without actually doing
People.
a real show.
It
you know?
is.
So pretty soon I'm gonna start doing a lot more of that.
Okay. I know one of the things, because I worked with artist development here for a long, long time and worked with a ton of artists. And, I'd get some kids or even adults that were just phenomenal artists.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put them on the stage and they're like deer in the headlights kind of thing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, shit, what do? We got to figure out that, hey, man, it's cool. You're still singing in the living room at the house, but there's 500 people here.
Right.
But how do you bring that out of an artist? And that's really just sometimes it can be a really tough thing to do. I mean, I've had some artists that were just amazing, and you put them on stage and they're like, it just kills it, you know.
Yeah.
So it's spend time on that part of your show.
Yeah.
Because it's called show business,
Yep.
and it's show, and then the business. Actually, it's more business than it is show. But if you can nail the show, we'll handle the business part of it pretty easily. Let's see. So, Berea, Kentucky, 21 years old, bassist, multi-instrument. What else do you play? Drums, a little dabble in drums, guitar, obviously.
Yeah. And, you know, I program some MIDI keys, you know.
I don't know how to do that. I got one. I don't know how it works. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I sing, of course.
Yeah, we're gonna have some of his music on our outro to the show today, and it's pretty cool. You guys should listen.
Nice.
Do you have like YouTube channels or like social media links anywhere yet?
Oh, I'm not very active on social media yet.
Well, that is something over the course of the next year you really need to delve deep into, because at the end of the day, it's business, and that social media is such a huge part of the business now. It's insane. But I fully encourage, and I know you will, you're young, so you embrace social media, or maybe you don't. But unfortunately, or fortunately, there's it's an integral part of what you're going to be doing in the future. Yeah. So it's just always important to realize, you know, how does this work? How do I hit algorithms? You know, should I be posting on Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok or YouTube or what? Yeah, all of them.
Right.
So, all of them. And cross your fingers and hope that you hit an algorithm somewhere, because that's really, if you can, you know, it's crazy the things that I've seen, you know, with artists that you're like, they're doing all this hard work. I mean, shows, booking their own shows, you know, using whatever resources they come up with. Then all of a sudden they hit an algorithm, they get a video, they pop up, and it gets 300,000 views.
Yeah.
And now it's on. You know, the race is on. Well, how do I repeat that? How do I grow that? So those are all things that I absolutely encourage you to delve into as you move forward in this young career of yours. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Are you playing with any other band members now, or are you just going all solo?
Well, it's mostly solo, but I'm playing different gigs here and there. I'm play a jazz gig for Randy.
Tell him who Randy is. Who's Randy?
Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his last.
He's playing with Randy for all you people out there.
Yeah. Just he's releasing a jazz album, an instrumental jazz album.
Did he come here to record that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I heard about that, but I didn't get a chance to meet him. So you're playing with him?
Yeah, just one gig, you know. And I'm having we just did a rehearsal yesterday. I'm having a blast doing that. And that's just an example of doing gigs here and there, and I make I jam around the studio with
all the musicians that roll in and out of our doors daily. What kind of I mean, obviously it looks like your life path and career path sounds like the entertainment business. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the main path that you're headed on. What kind of venues do you think you would be playing in the future? I mean, what do you think is suited? What type of venue is suited for what you're doing as a solo? Are you doing acoustic?
Yeah, currently. I think the big picture, I'd like to,
what's the
to
big
have
picture?
To have a band someday and you know, do a bigger sound.
Sure.
But I really appreciate the solo acoustic stuff, especially for just getting skills.
Yeah, the thing about doing a solo show, especially for younger guys, that you're the guy. Mm-hmm. You know, you get however many people are at the venue, whatever. If it's 100, if it's 50, or if it's 300, you're the guy. You know, you can't look over at the drummers or any for help. Yeah. You know, you're the guy.
It kind of forces you
to be the guy or girl in this instance. But yeah, man. So yeah, keep doing those acoustic gigs, and then do you have a time frame on when you think you might be putting a band together, or is that something you're cognitively? We always throw a big word in for some reason on my shows, but and that's big for me. Trust me. Is there a timeline on when you would like to be putting a band together to get out and start doing some shows? Let me know, because I do book.
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah,
you know, maybe early next year would be the earliest.
Okay,
I think.
And then just do some regional stuff and try to see what you can find as far as gigs.
Yeah, we'll see. I've you know, I think about it in a far sense, because you know, most of my detailed cognition, as you say,
another word,
is thinking about like closer things, like I gotta learn these covers, you know.
Yeah. Good old covers.
Right.
Can't live with them, can't live without them. That's, you know, I've booked major artists my career, you know, they've had, you know, major hits and all this stuff, and then I watch them on stage and they're playing somebody else's song. I'm like,
Yep.
that's kind of cool. The A-list artist is doing covers. I'm like, cool, that's cool.
Well, that's one thing I've learned is to get really good at playing your music, you got to play some of the other people's music.
Absolutely.
You know.
So you told me a couple of your big influences. Who else like influences this young musical mind of yours, man?
Have you heard of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard?
I have not heard of King Lizard and the Lizard Gizzard.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, or KGLW for short.
Not heard of that
King
one.
Gizzard.
What kind of music is that?
Oh, well, they're
chicken music.
That's funny. They're an Australian band. They've done a lot of psych rock as well.
Wow.
But they do a lot of genre hopping. And they're very prolific. They tour a lot, and they write albums on tours. You know, I think 2017 they released like 5 albums, 5 studio albums. Wow. And this isn't just junk. It's like
it's good shit.
They're each like unique in their own way,
right?
Say
the name of that band again.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
I'm writing that down because I got. That's a shout out to those guys, but I got to check them out just because
they're not on Spotify though. You got to check them out on like Apple Music or Bandcamp.
Do they have an issue with Spotify? What's going on with that?
Yeah, I think sometime last year, I think they boycotted it. Something to do with Spotify funding, something relating to war. I don't know.
No, okay.
I don't know the details.
Social injustice. It sounds like maybe they have a voice, and that's good.
Something like that. Yeah, you know, they're very. I don't know what the word is. I mean, like they've released a lot of their records to be sort of open source in a way, so people can make their own custom vinyls of them and sell them.
That's kind of cool.
They have a very different business model than a lot of bands, but they kind of do it because they have a very cult following, you know.
Yeah, you're in it. You're in the cult, apparently.
I guess so. Well, they're a bucket list band. I have to see them someday.
Well, where are they coming? I'll see what I can do.
They come to like Bonnaroo a lot. Of course, I can never afford going to festivals or shows like that.
I just talked to a friend of mine yesterday. He's actually a graduate of our school, and he's not an artist, but he's going to be on the show. Actually, we're kind of getting his logistics up because he's getting ready to go out on tour with an artist. But he mentioned, so he's the tour manager for Cody Jinks. It's Brad Gaines is the guy, but Brad went through our school. Great guy, man. And so he's tour manager for Cody Jinks. And I was talking to him last night, and he says they're going out with Five Finger Death Punch. I'm like, well, that's an interesting combination of bands. But he's like, man, if you want to come, I'll hook you up. And I was like, yeah. So I don't know anybody with the Lizard band. If I can make a contact, man, I'll see what I can do to get you there. If it's on the bucket list, I hate people to get the bucket list shit done. You got to have that. What else is on the bucket list for you? Musically.
Oh, well, okay. Big one for me is Mac DeMarco.
Mac DeMarco.
You know him?
I do.
Yes. Big indie guy. I like to say I learned to sing from him.
Really?
Because for the longest time, I didn't have any confidence in my singing voice.
I heard that when you first started here, you didn't think you were a singer.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then Will,
Will has an uncanny ability to kind of cut through the crap and see where the talent is.
Yeah.
In a lot of
That's why it's called artist development. Isn't that
cool? Like originally when he was considering me for the artist development program,
right.
He asked me to send some demos,
right.
And I sent him, horribly produced demos.
It's the best kind, man.
Reverb-drenched vocals, where you could hardly hear him, and somehow he could still
hear something,
sense something was.
And that's the trick with artist development.
Yeah.
We've worked with artists that have made it. We've worked with artists that are 12 years old and up and whatever, and we're developing that. But it's being able to spot that something that's in there, and then obviously the development part. That's what that means, man. And you're a prime example of that. And you're doing a killer job. You really are. I mean, just what I've seen in the short time that I've known you really impressed me a lot. And
Thanks.
I think you've got a career in this business and with work ethic and everything else that goes along. And maybe some blessings from wherever it comes from. Ray shines down upon
I've
you.
got plenty of blessings.
There you go.
My family.
You're blessed, brother. But
Yeah.
if it all works out, look for his music. James Wright is going to be available on all platforms eventually at some point in time.
Oh, yeah.
But it's really cool to get a chance to talk to somebody that's not only in our engineering school here at Long Island Recording Studios, Lexington School for Recording and Performing Arts, but also as a musician and is in our artist development program. And brother, it's been really cool to talk to you. It really has. I can't wait to see your next show.
I appreciate you having me on.
Anytime, brother. Maybe we'll get you back when you get that first Grammy nod or something.
Of
or
course.
Platinum. We'll start with platinum. We'll go platinum and then we'll work on diamond albums.
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah.
All right, guys. That about wraps it up for this edition of Backstage Pass with Dave Nash and Insiders Look at the Music Industry. We'll be back next week with somebody. I'm not going to tell you who, but they're coming. A lot of cool stuff happening in the future. Check us out. We're on all platforms. Give us a shout. And if you got something you want to talk about, send us a message and we'll talk about it. See you guys. Till next time. Dave Nash, out.
Please, man, understand. I try so hard to supply the man of my sleep for old busy beat. Never once I kept alone, waking on up at the crack of dawn. But it's great, yeah, I'm sure it's great